Why the narcissist becomes obsessed with you, why it seems like some narcissistic people will just not let you go. Whether that's the mass smear campaigns trying to destroy your livelihood and your name, or the incessant hoovers. When you think perhaps that maybe they're not that bad, or you feel bad for them and try to reach some form of compromise because they're playing nice, they either take it as a signal to try and suck you back into their games, or leave you feeling frustrated when they back down on that agreement just as you thought you had them figured out, or when they take it so far and you tell them no and their tantrums begin. The narcissistic personality disorder is on a spectrum, and they are all individuals. Some become more obsessed than others. This is why you need to implement no contact or grey rock to get a narcissist to leave you alone. Narcissists will go through the love bombing phase of the relationship, when everything will be perfect for getting you hooked, when they treat you better than anyone ever has during this phase. So when they treat you worse than everyone has, you question yourself due to their projection and blame shifting and not their behaviour, because they will remind you of the stages when they did love bomb you. They will have raised your expectations, and then they will slowly devalue you into lowering your standards. Once they have you hooked, they will then stop doing for you and expect you to do more for them. Once they realise you're human and make mistakes, they will punish you through the silent treatments and many more things, through their passive aggressive behaviour, and then through their gaslighting and projection. They'll blame it all on you. As they drain your energy and you're no longer filling their self-esteem, their self-value, their self-worth, their self-love up, as a narcissist is always seeking that excessive attention from those around them to fill themselves up, which is why you can never do it on a permanent basis. It becomes increasingly difficult to help them, as they've drained you from the person you were to a person that they control. Only they don't want the exhausted person they've driven you into becoming. They want someone to make them feel good while they remain in control. Narcissists cannot help themselves, as they genuinely don't see themselves as the problem. They slowly devalue you, yet they blame the change in you on you. They also blame the change in you as to why they no longer do the things they promised they would do for you, as they think you're no longer meeting their needs. And then they often find someone who will, and they discard you. But the pattern repeats. They bring that person down, so that person is no longer giving them the attention they believe they're entitled to. When they see you doing well for yourself, they circle back around to you. This happens with almost every person a narcissist meets when they get involved in that relationship with them. With some people, if a narcissist isn't around them too much, or the narcissist never perceives that person as criticizing them, that person will never see that side to them. But with many, as a narcissist deep down is an insecure individual who have to pull others down to feel better within themselves, which is most believe that all others are their problem and not themselves. They cannot self-reflect to learn, to grow and to change. They just keep repeating the same cycles, the same patterns of behaviour. They believe all others cause the issues within their lives and not themselves. Narcissists do not have the same empathy towards others that those not on the disorder have. So they don't care for how they hurt people. They might feel shame in a moment, still they deflect this by passing the blame onto others, by projecting their negative thoughts, feelings or behaviour onto those around them so that they can escape accountability. They are often insecure individuals. Most fear abandonment, which is why most jump from one relationship to another, often overlapping, to fill those insecurities within themselves. Why they love bomb with such intensity, to feel better about themselves. Why they seek that attention. When they love bomb and receive attention, that fills their beliefs that they are special, that they are entitled, as they don't know another way to raise themselves up. They see exploiting others as an advantage, often creating more shame within them, more lies to cover up the shame. The more they deny to others, the more they deny to themselves. The more they lie to others, the more they lie to themselves and begin to believe their own lies. Others cannot help them. You cannot help them. You can only help those willing to help themselves, those willing to reflect, those willing to put in the work. And many a narc does not see themselves as the problem. They believe others are the problem, often guilt-tripping people into helping them as they've learned this works for them. Most have gone into the self-defense fight mode. Then they take flight to protect themselves, the survival mechanism of fight, flight, freeze or fawn. All people are capable of change and some need more help than others. However, in order to change, people have to be able to reflect, learn from mistakes and see what needs to be changed within themselves. Narcissists don't trust others as they are envious of others, often seeking to destroy others, believing others are seeking to destroy and are envious of them. When you start to wake from their gaslighting and start to see that something isn't quite right, if they haven't got a backup, they bring those intermittent reinforcements of the love bombing or the idolization when they create that fake future to give you the hope of the ideal and to distract you from what's happening in the present. If you're leaving them, do not risk telling them in person. They are individuals and some, not all, can be dangerous. If you tell them you are leaving, some will plot against you. Some will go for those pity plays to gain sympathy or guilt trip you into staying. Some may get aggressive, so always put your safety first. Narcissists cannot self-reflect to see how they can help themselves. All they can do is project their problems onto those around them to escape that accountability. As they don't have the internal happiness, they are always looking for external sources to fill this void because they cannot see what is wrong with them to heal themselves and find that inner happiness. They have to find external happiness, which is only ever temporary, as they lack the internal happiness. They are excessively envious and jealous people. They hate seeing other people happy as they cannot find this within themselves. As they are not happy within themselves, they will never be happy with external people or external possessions. They will always be looking for more. They will always be looking to feel better. They will always be wanting better, to fill that inner happiness that they cannot fill within themselves. They need to do this so that they can feel important and desired. They need the attention and the emotions from others directed onto them. They prefer positive. They'll happily take negative. As to them, it's still attention. As their own subconscious is always feeding them negative thoughts, they need the positive thoughts from others. Yet their own mindset can quickly turn these into negative again as they put other people down, as they talk badly of others. Often deep inside they are talking badly of themselves without realising it. They need to punish others and make others feel bad to make themselves feel better, but it only ever lasts a short time. Then their inner self-loathing comes back out to haunt them, so they have to go again. If you were abused, you were never the problem. No one deserves to be treated that way, no matter what the narcissist's past is, whatever their history is, whatever they've been through within their lives, does not entitle someone to then go around hurting other people. What they do speaks volumes about them and not you. They have a personality disorder, which researchers are yet to find a way to help them and understand. Well, get them to understand, to be able to help themselves. Their minds have been programmed in such a way. So far, they have been unable to find a way to reprogram it so that they can recover or at least be able to manage their disorder. Those who lack empathy, you must be careful around. Yes, they are hurtful, yet the levels they take it to depend on the individual. They are negative and negativity rubs off on others. So if you cannot cut them out of your life, you need to manage your time around them. Learn not to absorb that negative energy, observing them for who they are, and learn not to react. No matter how much you try to help or explain, they don't understand, as they see others as the problem and not themselves. You cannot love them better. Your understanding will not help them manage their disorder, and your kindness will not help them manage it. Their inner dialogue and the way they talk to themselves just doesn't work that way. Love is based on the perception of the individual. As narcissists are often insecure, they don't feel good within themselves. This shows with their arrogance and always wanting to put others down. If they were confident within themselves, they'd raise other people up. Many an insecure person will try to raise others up. As narcissistic people lack empathy, they pull others down. Narcissists often see others as an extension of themselves. Where we have a mobile phone, if the screen gets broken, we either fix it or we get a new phone. That's the same as with narcissistic people. Once you are no longer filling the narcissist cup up, which is of course draining as fast as we can fill it, they will find someone that can. We find ourselves draining ourselves to fill them up until we have nothing left to give them. They move on, leaving us empty, which is why we need self-care. You have to be at your best to give your best. There is no wrong in taking care of yourself and then taking care of others. A narcissist uses others to take care of themselves. And no matter how much you try to fill a narcissist's cup up, it is always going to be draining out because they are not filling it up within themselves. They are using other people to fill themselves up. Narcissists only miss the things you did for them or the money, the items you brought for them. If they discarded you, it's because you were no longer meeting their needs. Then when the new is no longer meeting their needs, when they see you've moved on, that you look happy, you're doing things that you love again, they will want you back. And some, it seems, can start to get obsessed about getting you back. If they cannot have you back, most will then seek to destroy you to make themselves feel better, that actually you're nothing special, and they will seek to sabotage those they perceive to be doing better than themselves, either by exploiting to meet a need of their own or destroying to feel better about themselves, often lacking in that object consistency. So when there is conflict or distance, they just don't care for those who care for them or those they once claimed to care for. To a narcissist, it's all about them and them getting their own needs met. So they can become obsessed with people either because they want whatever the person has, or they want to destroy whatever a person has. They are envious and they want to either exploit to meet a need of their own, why they love bomb, idolize and hoover. Then if they don't succeed in getting what they believe they are entitled to, the anger and resentment kicks in, and with their lack of empathy, they seek to destroy. Where we can feel anger and resentment because someone has duped us, we still have the empathy to care. We might like to see karma hit them. We might like to see the scales balance, but we wouldn't want actual harm on them. We might want to see the score settled, justice served. However, we wouldn't want to see harm on them. As we still respect that they are human, we still have the empathy to care. However, narcissists will happily watch others go down in order to feel better about themselves. This is why you mustn't let them know anything about your new life. You need to make your new life look incredibly dull to them. Do not react or defend yourself to them. They're not listening. They are just soaking up the attention and your negative emotions. When a narcissist isn't getting their own way, narcissists will up their games to try and get reactions from people. When they believe they've lost control over you, they will either try to hoover if they believe you have something valuable to offer them, or they will try to destroy you if you're not meeting their needs. And it's very tricky to make your life out to be dull to them, because someone who's exploited you, drained you, hurt you, it's often human nature to want to prove to them that you're better without them, when in reality they've got you into that competitive nature, and the only person you're into competition with, the only person you need to prove yourself to, is yourself. Stay humble with who you are, who you were as a person. Do not let the narcissist drag you into their games of trying to prove your worth to people who don't understand your value. Narcissistic people will often be stalking social media to gather that data. This is why if you post to social media, you need to delete and block them, their friends, their family, their flying monkeys, their enablers, so they cannot see what you are up to. If you are on online support groups within certain social media networks, if you've deleted and blocked them and their flying monkeys, even if they are in those groups, with most they will not be able to see what you've put because you've deleted and blocked them from your personal profile. With a narcissist, once they've circled around their games, see no adverse reactions towards them from you, and if they don't see you've happily moved on with your life and have something to offer them, hopefully they'll see no value in you to meet their own needs. They'll see you've nothing to offer them, and most will leave you alone. With those smear campaigns, no reaction is the best reaction, as gossips often move on faster. Yes, you need to not react. However, you need to gather any evidence you can in case you need to contact authorities. With hoovering, again, no reaction is best. When they are getting nothing from you, they often move away from you. However, gather any evidence if it comes to the extreme and you need to contact the authorities. So saving messages, saving phone calls, taking photos of drive-bys, things like that. I shall add in the description the video of stalking. We have to learn to understand their predictable, unbelievable behaviour, so they can no longer pull us in to their games. So we no longer feel the anger as we raise our standard for the behaviour we will accept from others, but lower our expectations. That narcissistic people cannot understand us on a level we are coming from, yet we can understand and be mindful on the level they are coming from, so we don't get all emotional and pulled back into their toxic games. I shall add in the description the video for smear campaigns, the video for the hoover, Stalking, fight, flight, freeze and fawn, no contact and grey rock, because learning how they hoover you back in, recognising, observing those games, learning the kinds of smear campaigns so that you can recognise and understand their behaviour, learning how to do no contact and grey rock the right way so that you no longer get sucked back in to their games. It's all about really learning about who we are as a person and learning to understand that they don't think how we think. They don't feel how we feel. So we have to understand them on the level they are coming from so that we no longer get sucked back into their games. If anyone has any advice on handling a narcissist hoover or handling a narcissist smear campaign, please do add it in the comments, because you never know who's reading it that might help or might have that light bulb moment or another idea on how they can help themselves. Thank you very much for listening. I hope everyone has an amazing day. Bye.